Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our live webinar of eIMMIGRATION. My name is Vanessa on behalf of Cerenade. I want to thank you for joining us today. Today, we're going to learn about the administrator portal, some of the settings and customizations that we recommend. And as always, this is being recorded, and we have a PowerPoint presentation you can download. If you click on handouts, you can download my PowerPoint presentation. Also, there's a chat or question section where you can message me. Throughout the webinar, you can send your questions and I can help you. All right, so let's get started. This is going to be, again, a training about customizations and all the settings in the admin portal. You probably won't have access, so you need to talk to your supervisor, whoever gave you access to the system. Know that the way you access the admin, it's on the top right corner. If you click on the settings icon, you should see administrative tools. If you don't, again, it's because you don't have access to the admin portal. I usually recommend to right click and open in a new tab so that you can access both the caseworker and the administrative portal. In the administrative portal, there are many settings that we're going to talk about today. So first of all, what is the admin portal? The administrative portal is, like I said, just for customizing or customizations for maybe adding a new questionnaire. You want to remove processes that you don't handle, or you want to add letter templates or creating custom fields. So there are many settings that or customizations that you can take advantage of via the administrator portal. And that's the only purpose of the admin. So you can't really create cases or work on forms from the admin. Okay, so today again we're gonna go over these settings and customizations. Some of these features are considered optional modules, so you must have access to the module, including not just billing, but let's say custom reports, um, the critical processing module, for example. Like those are the modules that might need you to upgrade or maybe switch. If you're not using the module, you can always contact our sales team and they can help you upgrade your current subscription. Okay, so today, like I said, we're gonna go over all these settings, and later we're gonna have a did you know question, and I'll go over the resources and support, and if you have any questions, we can go over those as well. Okay, so let me take you back. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna go over are the application settings. Oh, give me 1 second. Here we go. Sorry about that. So the first thing I'm going to go over would be the general overview, the department's user information, and the case processes, these three. Number one, departments is the location. So your law firm, obviously. But maybe your law firm has different branches. So you can have different departments and separate cases and clients by different departments, different locations. We also have clients who are paralegals and they're independent contractors and they work for different attorneys. So what they do is they create a department for each office, and that's how they can auto-populate the forms depending on the type of or the different office that they are helping, right? So they can run reports to know how many cases or how many clients they have for each department. And the way you do that is just click here, add department, enter the information, and then click save at the bottom. If you are new, yours should say default, and then you can just click edit and remove default and then enter your company name. Okay. I've seen clients that make the mistake of adding a new one and they leave the default one. So if that has happened to you, or let's say that you close your office in Florida, so or Gardena, you can sorry, you can reassign anything that you had under this department and reassign it to something else. Okay. Second icon, it's the users. The way that the system works, you need a license. Okay, so in order for someone to be logged in or connected, they have to have a username and password. That's what the license is for. But you can have as many users or caseworkers as needed. To give you an idea, I may have an attorney who's not technically using the system. He is in these 3 locations, and I need his information here, his state bar number, his jurisdiction details, address, everything that I need so that the G28 populates automatically, but I'm not going to create an account because I don't have a license. I don't need a license for him. He's not technically using the system. I just need his information. Okay. So actually, hold on. Let me show you. If I do need a license for, let's say, a receptionist or a data entry clerk, and I want to give them access just to a specific location or department. That's how you select on the right hand side. The order number is just the order where the name. So if I have 5 users, this is going to be number 6. That's it. So this doesn't really matter. You can leave it 0. Enter the information for that caseworker, and these 5 boxes I'm going to go over so you guys understand what they're for. Also keep in mind that if you make corrections now, it's going to affect cases or clients moving forward. It's not going to affect previous existing, like already existing clients or cases, okay? For example, automatically assigned to clients means that when I create an account, let me open. By the way, I'm going to be doing this very often. I'm going back and forth, because I want to show you not only how you customize the system, but I also want to show you why, what's the application, okay? So let me open an account. Each account, either prospect, active, individual, or business, it's assigned to a caseworker. So if I go to caseworkers and I link, I would have to do it manually. And instead of doing this manually where I link someone to that client's profile, I just automatically assign. Moving forward, every client that I create is going to be assigned to my paralegal, or I don't know, receptionist, or like you can, right, change that. The other option is automatically check client's consent message. That means that if I want Valeria to message Benita, I need to check this box. Okay, what that means is number 1, either text messaging or the messaging option that we have. Both of them are considered optional modules, just so you know. So they require a subscription, which means that I decide which caseworkers Valeria can message. From her client portal, there's again a messaging option. So let me show you. I'm gonna log in as Valeria, the client. So from the client portal, if I allow her to message, she's gonna click messages, and let's say new message, and then click to. See, all these caseworkers are listed here, are listed because I allowed this person to message them. If I don't want her to message Kevin or Ray or Alfred, I'm just going to remove most of these. So let's say she can only message these individuals. Look what's going to happen. I'm going to refresh my screen. Give me 1 second. Okay, so new message, and look at the list. It's only the 3 of us, right? So if you want to have the clients that access, I guess, to message you or your staff, then my recommendation is that you check this box so that you don't have to do it manually. The third one is I want to receive an email, or I want this data clerk or this paralegal to receive an email when the clients upload their documents in their client portal. I'm not sure if you are aware of this, but in the client portal, there's a section for shared documents, which I always recommend. It's a win-win. I mean, if you share this checklist with your clients, they know what you need, and they can just upload, they can drag and drop multiple files at once. And when they do that and they upload to their account, you want to get an email notification from us. So again, if you check this box moving forward, all the cases that are linked to this paralegal, all the clients that are linked and they upload documents, this paralegal is going to get that auto email. Okay. Next one is assigned to cases. Again, why do I want that? Because when I create a case, let me open a case so that you guys can get an idea. When I open a case, there's a tab for case workers. So I know not only whose information will transfer to the forms, but who's working on this case. So instead of me linking manually the case workers, if I want to automatically link the case worker to all cases, then I check that box, automatically assigned to cases. But only the attorneys should have this box checked because we want their data to transfer to forms. Or if you are the preparer, the DOJ rep, or right, whoever needs to be transferring to forms, then again, check the box so that you don't have to check this box right here manually. Okay. When you create an account, this is where you give the user, let's say the paralegal, the username, the password. This is where you select the access rights. Maybe they can only use the system Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. So I can limit the access. Even though they have the URL, username, and password, they cannot use the system after like outside work hours. I may also set an expiration date. Maybe this paralegal is a part-time and then starting on February of next year, they shouldn't have access anymore. So again, you can have an expiration date. And then of course, you can customize the access rights. This is very important because when you add a new license, people don't know that they have to, as the administrators, they have to come here and allow, for example, it happens very often with e-filing. By default, it shows known. So you're paying for e-filing, but you didn't know that you were supposed to give access to your staff and they're not using it. So again, make sure that you go over these access rights and decide, do I want to give them access to view or access to create, to update or delete? Depending on the boxes, obviously, it means that you're allowing access or you're blocking it. Okay, let me know if you guys have any questions at this point. I do want to ask, do you know if you have access to the admin? Do you know what the admin portal is? Go ahead and please vote on your screen. Thanks. Okay, thank you for those who voted. I've got 71% of the votes, and that's more than I wanted. So let's continue. All right, so next on my list is the case processes. I always joke and say these processes are the brain of the system. You'll see why I say that. Because when I create a matter or a case, let's say I go to the contact profile and I'm ready to create a case for her. When I click on create case, this case wizard window that appears has the drop down menu for the processes. So what if I don't use or I don't do, I don't know, like, let me find one, E2. So I don't do E2 investor visa. So what I'm going to do is hide it from my list. So if I see this here in my list, what I can do is edit, disable. Oh, wait a minute. Am I looking at the wrong one? Oh, that's interesting. Excuse me. Maybe I'm going crazy already. Anyways, this one is actually a different one. Okay, sorry about that. Give me one second. I'm stubborn, so I'm like, I'm not gonna let it go. It's this one. Okay, yeah. So you disable, and you may also link it to a specific area of practice. So we're gonna click save, and that way it's not gonna show up. The other thing that you can also do, for example, I want the naturalization process all the way up. So instead of scrolling down through that list, I'm gonna click move to, and then pick number 1. Click OK, and now it goes all the way up. Okay. So the other thing you can also do, it's drag and drop. It's just that I don't really like doing that because what if the process that I need is all the way at the bottom? So another disclaimer, I guess, a reminder would be you can use the system for more than just immigration. We have clients that use it not because we have like bankruptcy forms or that we have, notary features, notary related features, but you can use it to handle more than just immigration. Okay. So that's one area I wanted to cover. And then, of course, you can customize the name of the process, the elements. When I create a naturalization case, which forms am I going to see? Okay, you can always add or remove forms, and you may also drag and drop if you want to rearrange this list. Hi, can I disable multiple cases? Sorry, I'm reading a question. You guys can message me. In fact, please do. Can I disable multiple case processes at a time or only one by one? Unfortunately, it's only one by one. I was talking to someone yesterday. I was telling them, please go to feedback and provide something you like or dislike. You have no idea how much that helps when clients provide their feedback. But I always try personally to let them know, like, hey, this is what clients want. Um, but yeah, it would be ideal if you guys select multiple ones and then click kind of like what we have here on the top where it says delete, or maybe one that says disable or enable. But thank you for your question. Um, sorry. Next, and by the way, I'm glad you're here. Happy Friday. Okay. So the other one is steps. This is the reason why I said this is the brain of the system, because this is going to help you automate things. I always talk to solo practitioners and also large corporations who are using e-immigration. And the problem right now that they're facing, especially now, is like it's a lot of work and we need to automate things and we need to organize our team. Okay, how are you going to do it if you don't have processes in time? Like the process steps are the tasks and I guess, the workflow. So if you customize this, you're also helping your staff to understand what they need to do. Okay, I also recommend doing English or Spanish, or be as specific as needed, because this is kind of like their to-do list. So it's not just entering or editing the actual task, but also how many days they have to complete a consultation. And do you want them to receive a reminder via email if they forget to complete it? So that's very important. The other thing, and I'll show you right now how this applies. The other thing you want to do is create actions that are triggered automatically. For example, it's time for us to prepare the invoice. Well, what I'm going to do is add an activity so that when it's time for us to prepare the invoice, I want the system to add the expenses automatically. Maybe when the step starts, or a day after, a day, like you can customize this. Okay. Well, take it back. You can't customize the drop down menu. You can choose from these options. So let's say I want to add expenses to create invoice, and which expenses based on the naturalization. I'm gonna say the naturalization fee is this, and I want to click save. All right, so now when it's time for the invoice prep, and as soon as I start the step, I'll show you right now how it works, then the system is going to automatically add the expense. Trust me, it's a couple of clicks that you're saving time. You can do, again, it's time for me to send the questionnaire. Well, instead of me sending the questionnaire, I want the system to send it a few days before the target date and then send an email once the process steps completed, blah, blah, blah. So you can, again, automate these steps using activities. If you are taking notes, just write down activities, and there's a video that you can watch. It's in the user's guide. Now, let me explain what these process steps are. Actually, a better exercise would be for me to create that case, the same one, so that you guys can see. Let me refresh my screen. Any questions at this point? Mm, Actually, I have one question for you. Let me know if you've tried to customize your processes. Okay, I'm gonna close the poll. I've got 50%. I was tempted to say 50% off. Okay, so not yet. Please show me how. Okay, I already did, but if you need help, let me know if you have questions. So I'm going to create a new case using that example that we just customized. And as a reminder, all these that you see here, you can customize them in the admin. Okay, for example, when I create a case, I want to know that this has been interrupted or it's pending with NVC or completed or in process. So you can have your own stages, I guess, of the case and run reports based on that. You may also customize a type of categories like employment, family base, um, citizenship, like whatever. You can have different categories. And just really quick, the way you customize those are here. Number one, type of case category is here. Like I said, family, employment based, social, like pro bono. I want to use it for divorce cases, or like you can, again, use the system for any service, not just immigration. And then the type of programs, they're right here, case program types. And I want to add different stages, or if you're a nonprofit, actual grants or programs that you want to track. Okay. All right. So let's go back and create the case. These are the required fields. If you want to make some of these required fields, it's over here. Applications. Remember, I'm going back and forth. I'm switching from the caseworker to the admin so I can show you where to change those. If you go to application settings, gosh, I don't even know how I do this to remember where because I don't do this every day, meaning like change. Oh, they're right here. So it's case. What I did, I went to the admin, I clicked on application settings, and then if you scroll down to where you see case settings right here, scroll down and you'll see it. It's case wizard required fields. So if I want to make the required field the processing date or the application date, or you can, or where's the actual folder, so you can make those required. Anyway, so let's continue. We talked about this, like I want the attorney's information automatically transferring to form, so now you know where to go. I'm gonna select alien for the citizenship. Click next. I don't have any conditional rules, but you can customize them also in the administrator portal. If you want to customize conditional rules, they're also here in the admin under case processes. Most of our nonprofit clients benefit from this. So if you click on the plus sign, you'll see that right here. It says rules, so that you can kind of like enforce. It's adding a rule saying if this is a process, then this should be the program. So you can add the field here and say, well, the general info for the type of process, for the type of program, or so I'm just going to say program type. And then so if this, so if the type of program or the type of matter is naturalization, then the type of program should be equal to, again, citizen or assimilation, or like, again, you can enforce these conditional rules. I'm going to skip for now. And then the forms checklist, if I want to customize this, like I said, in the admin under case processes. So let's just go ahead and create, because what I want to show you is the process steps. So if I create a case and go to process steps, then we said that these are the tasks, or kind of like the milestones. I call it the workflow or the timeline. That's your to-do list. So if you start the steps and modify them, this is where you can add the start date and the number of days. So if I want to delegate, I can pick the caseworker. So I'm just going to say they need a call for follow-up. Too many follow-up calls. And then the questionnaire. And look, this is where we're going to do the invoice. Remember the one that I just customized? I'm going to pick today's date and click Save. So in theory, we have started the step, which means that if I go to billing and expenses and charges, it's right there. See, otherwise I would have had to click add expenses, find the expense, link it. So I highly, highly recommend that you guys use activities and process steps. And it's also a great way to track your progress because you're going to click done, done, or completed. And if you forget, let's say that I was supposed to, well, let me do this one. Okay, let's say that I was supposed to do this yesterday. It's going to be in red, so I can visually identify any overdue steps. And whoever's linked as a caseworker, which actually I didn't have anyone linked right here. Let's say Vanessa was supposed to review and notify client of any additional documents needed, and that was yesterday. So in theory, if I am selected as a caseworker and this box is checked, I get an email on the 14th reminding me, don't forget to do this. Okay. All right. Any questions? I think I do have. Oh, the question says, I saw how you forced the conditional rules, but why or when would we use that? It's not for everyone. Like I said, this was a nonprofit client request. It's the way I call that rule, it's a slap in the hand. It's like, don't forget to do this. It's a reminder. So when you create a case, and let me try again because I changed that. And let's say I'm in a nonprofit organization, we're doing citizenship cases, and I forget to select the type of program. When I get to, oh, by the way, here's a required field that I just added. When I get to the rule, let me just find the client. Give me 1 second. Okay, see, I'm not gonna select the type of program. I'm gonna try to skip. And this is the slap at the end that I was talking about. Hey, don't forget the program type is right. So I need to select the correct setting. And the thing is, the reports were not being accurate because the staff was not selecting the corresponding program type or the grant, or that's why they did it. It's just, again, optional. You can skip it, but now you know where to customize it. All right, let's continue. Let me know if you guys have any questions about those. Just as a reminder, the processes, each of the services that you guys offer, citizenship, green cards, like asylum, think of it like a package. It has all these elements. It's not just the forms that you're going to complete, but again, the steps that you need to follow, the documents that you need to request. So the easiest way would be if I have a checklist by default so that I know, or you can customize it. So, hey, I need your passport in color. So I'm just going to put here and full color, or okay. So I can customize my documents checklist and I can share with my client. So if I go to the documents section at the case profile, I can select these documents and share with my client so they can upload from home. Okay. You may also customize the questionnaires, not the well, besides the actual questionnaire, you can customize the checklist. So when I create a case, in this example, naturalization, I know exactly which questionnaires are associated to that process. Let's talk about letter templates. The letter templates are motions, cover letters, emails, anything that instead of you typing, the system can auto-populate for you. To give you a better idea, let me show you one that I already have here. And I'm going to the case profile. I click on documents and then I go to letters. The reason why you see these letters by default, it's because, again, I have them linked to that process, okay? And just to give you an idea, let me open one. Ah, that's not a good one. Why? Yeah, of course, it's Friday. How about a happy birthday? I know this is not good. Sorry about this. Trying to pick one that has, maybe I'm just too impatient. All right. Okay. I apologize for my examples because I always just type like this because I don't have the time to type an actual cover letter for adjustment of status. But I want to give you an idea. These are the tags. Okay, these tags help you kind of like redirecting traffic from the profile to the letter, kind of like what the forms do. So if you preview, then the name populates. I'm going to show you really quick how to create those templates. If you go to your admin and click on letter templates, most of you have these letters already in your Outlook or Word, right? So you just copy paste them. But it's not just copy pasting them. So let me open one. You're going to copy paste, but you can also add your logo. And then, of course, you're going to add the tags. These tags, like this one, current state, today's date, it's going to populate. Where do I find the tags? Two places. I'm going to show you both. This one, it's a drop-down menu that it's not fun because you're going to scroll down and find what you need. It's ordered alphabetically. So if I'm looking for individual client, great. Now I need to find first name, and I go to the second row or the second column, sorry, and then I find the letter F for first name. Here we go. And that's it. That's how you find it. But the fastest way is if you switch to the other tab, go to tools, and then go to tag helper. And then it's faster if you just, current date, and then click here on the left, copy, switch back, and paste it. That's it. These tags, what they do, like I said, they auto-populate the name, the date, the social, the address, anything that even custom fields can be auto populated here. Okay, let me know if you guys have any questions about the templates. I'm going to move on. I want to show you how to create custom fields. De nada. Gracias por especificar. So thanks for specifying. So the tags in the letter templates, if you guys use them, it could be not just for cover letters, like I said, or motions. It could be for any reminder, in fact. So when you add a reminder, let's say, hey, I have a meeting with a client. I don't know, yeah, let's say we have a meeting. Well, I want to remind the client about that meeting that we have on December 6th. I want to send them an email and a text message, maybe a few days before the meeting. I want to send that reminder at 8 a.m. And instead of me typing that message for the reminder, I can find that cover letter here. Pretty sure I already have like a reminder for maybe this one. See, it populated her name. So you guys can also use a letter template for this situation. Okay, let's go back. Okay, custom fields. I like to use analogies, so that's how I learn. So the way I've learned how are these custom fields is like I call them buckets or a container. So you have a profile, right, where you have all these buckets or containers of the field where you're going to store data. Well, what if I have a question that I need to ask my client, such as, how did you hear about this law firm? Are you tech savvy? Best way to contact you, blah, blah, blah. So these custom fields you can create so that you can store data, but not only that, you can run reports based on the data. You can transfer the data to forms, like again, redirecting the traffic or mapping, and that's the technical term. You're gonna map them. So The way you create a custom field is if you go to the admin and click here, client custom field, and then you're gonna click add client custom field. So don't get confused. The name of the field is more technical. It can have spaces, but you can do something like this. Last underscore arrival underscore date. My title of the field, it's okay for you to type normally. When did you last arrive in the US legally? Anyways, so you're gonna put what type of field? I'm asking for a date. It could be a text, number, right? Boolean is a little square where you check the box. Let me give you an idea. This is a Boolean custom field. I created literally just phone or text message or email. So I can group these three, and I created a category, and the category is best way to contact you. So that way you don't have all these custom fields uncategorized like these. So maybe you want to have something like, do you have a computer at home? I want to move that all the way here. If they are tech savvy, I want to know if they have a computer at home. Um, Again, how did you hear about us? You can run reports on these custom fields, and you can transfer them to actual forms or letter templates as well. Okay, so that's how you create a custom field. And then on the right-hand side, this is where you can create categories. For example, the one that we just saw, technology, I want to edit, and I want to add the custom field. I think the custom field was, do you have a computer at home? Right here. So I select the custom field, I add it, and save. That's it. So the way I group them, let's refresh the screen. Now, under technology, I ask, are you tech savvy and do you have a computer at home? Okay. All right. So next is, oh, okay. This is the fun part. How do you map these to the forms? Let me give another example. There was a question on the DS160, DS260 that says, what's your full name in native alphabet? We don't have that question in the system or traditional fields. Okay, so we created that under custom fields, and it's right here. It should be right here. What's your full name in native alphabet? Great. So how do I map this or connect it to the actual DS260? Well, you're going to go into your admin. You're going to click File, Form Custom Data Population, and you're going to click Add Form, search the form. And also keep in mind that some of these forms sometimes are updated. Well, very often they're updated. So if that happens, you have to remap the new version. That's why we tell you in bold, there's a newer version available. So you need to make sure you go to the new version and map your custom fields. So the DS260, like I said, has this question, full name in native alphabet. So actually, let me remove this so that I can do it again. Okay, you're gonna open the form. You're going to locate the field that you want to customize, and you're going to click on that and click on this icon. It's a client custom field. So I select client custom field, and I be super specific with your custom fields. Don't create them like coding, because it's going to be frustrating. Like when you are looking for them, it's easier if you just, again, use an underscore or just put all the words together, no spaces. And the region, it belongs to the alien. And then I just click OK. That's it. There's no save button. Just close the form. And that's how you map the fields to your forms. Now, how do I add that custom field to the general, you know how you have the general info section and you have all these very common fields? What if I want to add custom fields here? Well, the way you do that is you go to Client Custom Fields, and then you're going to click System on the right, System Client Custom Fields, and then go to General Info. So I'm going to add my custom field for the full name in native alphabet. So I select, scroll all the way down, Click Save, and that's it. So now if I refresh my screen, under Custom Fields, I'm going to see what's your full name in native alphabet. That's how you add them to the general page. So I don't have to go to the right-hand side, Custom Fields, and look for that. The only thing is that all of these custom fields are in the same category. Well, not this, it's the same place. Like you can't have different grouping here. That you would have to go under custom fields and search marketing, family law, personal injury. So you have different categories or different views, sorry. These are the category. The header is a category and the view is a drop-down menu. Okay, next item in my list. Give me 1 second. Let me just bring up my PowerPoint. Don't forget to download it so that you guys can click on the links and share with your staff. If you're watching this video and you need the PowerPoint, contact Cerenade so we can email it to you. Okay, billing items. Remember, you must have subscription to billing if you want to use it. Billing requires customizations as well. Under billing items, you're going to add the billing item and it's going to ask you for the type of billing item. So that's something that you must also, if you want to customize it, that you must customize here under the types of billing items, such as consultation, shipping, translation, you name it, FedEx. Okay, so you're going to go billing items, add a billing item, and then select the type. I'm just going to call this FedEx, and then the description. I'll just call it standard FedEx to USCIS. And then we charge, I don't know, $45. I'm just, and then click Save. That's it. So now I can create an invoice and include that charge or expense. How do I create a custom intake form, a questionnaire? So I'm going to go again in the admin, click custom form template, and then go to intake form. Here, you already have system intake forms. You might as well use them. So make a copy and tweak it and change it. So maybe you want to change this and call it welcome, welcome questionnaire. And I want to change this to welcome. I want to remove questions that I don't need. Like I don't need the title or their status or maiden name. I'm just going to keep it super, super simple. I don't need their fax number. Anyways, you get the point. You delete on the right. You can edit with the pencil. You may also rearrange. See, I can just move this. You can add on the left. For example, if I click on a question, it's going to add it all the way at the bottom. So I don't want it. I want to put this question maybe a number 5. And my question would be, I always use this example. Sorry, guys. Is this a new, I mean, is this a new, are you new? Is this the first time you contact us? And then when they say, yes, I want to ask, great, how did you hear about us? No, this is not the first time that I contact you. Do you have a case with us? What's your case number? Anyways, I'm just giving you an example of how you can create additional questions to your questionnaire, how you can reorganize them by position. And then, of course, you can make this pretty with like your logo, numbering questions. You can change the layout, maybe adding a submit button at the bottom or having like a signature if I want to create a contract and have them sign electronically. I may also want to ask the client to upload multiple documents. Anyway, so you can create your own questionnaires this way. Hold on. I'm reading a question. It says, can I combine all the system questionnaires to make a master to edit from? Yes or no? You can't technically combine them all in one, but you can add, I'll show you right now. See where it says templates or repeated sections? So in theory, these are some of the questionnaires that we have, like the arrest history, affiliations, we have relatives questionnaire, we have history of employment or marriage history. So in theory, these are the other questionnaires that you could pretty much combine. If I need to combine them instead of sending separately, I'll just click and it's going to add the marriage history questionnaire, the employment history. I don't really recommend it because I put myself in their shoes and it's overwhelming as a client to complete every single thing. So I wouldn't do it. I'd rather just send like, you know, different pieces of the whole puzzle one at a time. Okay, so next step is mapping. Remember I told you that you create your custom field, but you have to map it, kind of like the container that I was saying. This is where you can locate where the container is. Like if I'm adding a question that says, is this the first time that you're here or how, that you contact us? Well, that's in theory a client custom field that I created. So I'm just gonna find it. I put first time here and that's it. That's how you map it or connect it. All you need to do is just create the custom field and link it. You have a case number. You can also make these questions required. And then lastly, you can add translations. I can enable the translation or disable. I'm not going to save this questionnaire, so I'm just going to close this. Let me know if you guys have any questions at this point. Okay, so the majority of you said no thanks. I'll just continue, but if you do, just send it to the questions section. Next is form defaults. The form defaults, if I want to save time, I want to customize a form so that every time that I work on the form, let's say N400, instead of me checking the box every single time for these clients, I'm just going to customize it so that it has all these questions already marked with a no, 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 no. So you can customize forms to reflect default values. Again, keep in mind when there's a new version of a form, you have to remap your fields. Document repository is another feature that you all have. It's kind of like a cloud in the cloud, the way I see it. It's me adding documents that I need. Maybe I'm working outside my office and I need the contract or I need the invoice template or instructions for clients or logos or any documents that I want to make available so that when I'm working and I want to share with my staff, they can just go instead of like using Google Drive pretty much or OneDrive or right or Dropbox or so your staff can go add a document from that document repository. So they're gonna see the list. Let's say we need trying to find one that I can share with you, like this one, instructions for clients. I want to add it and I'll just call it test and save. So now I have the file in here where I can just download or send it or so those are the I'm sorry, that's the document repository. I also want to show you the alerts and the admin and all of you have access to global alerts. What they're for is like an alert, like a pop-up window. I want to alert my staff, info, warning, success. Maybe I want to put something like a reminder to take good pictures or scan the documents clearly or something like that. Maybe we've had cases, rejected because the picture or the scan was not clear or so I want to remind my staff and I want to put this reminder. So when they access a client, they get this pop-up window with the reminder. They cannot delete it. The other thing that you guys can also do is add an alert that's not basic but advanced, and it's more like a warning because we have invoices that are overdue. So again, regardless of who owes, sorry, regardless if you're in the billing department or not, you're gonna see this global alert that says this client has overdue invoices. So again, make sure that you guys use the alerts to inform your staff. Okay, so I covered those already. I'm gonna skip. We're almost done. I just want to show you reports, branding, and referrals, and then I can take your questions. We're gonna have our Q&A. Okay, one of my favorite features is custom reports because I feel like it's having an assistant by allowing you to schedule reports. First of all, I'm going to show you quickly how to customize them. So you go to report templates, and remember you must have access to this module. I also recommend that you use what we have. So for example, we have a report for billing that shows you invoices that you created within a time frame. What if I want to use that report or this one, invoices with a balance, I want to customize it. So I can make a copy of that report and I want to be super specific and I just want to show, hey, give me all the invoices that have a balance and they missed payments in the last 3 to 6 months. So I can create a custom report with very specific information and I want to put here like more columns. Maybe add the client's cell phone or email so I can share this report with my intern and she's going to just contact these clients that have missed their payments. How do you share this report with your intern because she doesn't have access to the system? I'm not going to pay for a license if she's not going to use it. So what I do is I schedule a report. I go to add schedule report. I find the report invoices, let's say invoices with a balance greater than $10. Whoever owes me more than $10, I want to call them starting on Monday, maybe until the year 2030. um, Send this on a weekly basis to my accounting department. Again, this person is not necessarily using the system, but they're going to get a weekly Excel spreadsheet with everyone who owes me, phone number, email, balances, you name it. So again, um, this is where you put the email subject and then of course the recipients and the message of the email. And that's it. So now my accounting department is going to get that weekly or monthly or daily, yearly report. Okay, automatically, I don't have to send it. Okay, next is application settings. Earlier, I told you about this section. Application settings has a ton of game changer settings. For example, this little box allows me to auto convert images to PDFs. I highly recommend it. This little box allows me to just get one single email when my client is done with all her questionnaires, not an email per questionnaire per client. Anyways, so you can review these settings, and if you have questions, please contact us because I can't tell you like, oh yeah, check this one or not because it's a preference. For example, I do recommend checking the box because you want the process steps to auto start when you complete the previous step. Anyway, so please review the settings and make sure that if you have questions that you contact us. But this is where you can make a huge difference. Like I said, I want to, how about like auto generate my case number instead of me figuring out, okay, what's the next case? And then of course you can customize the formatting here. All right, so those are the settings. How do I change my logo? Okay, my logo it's over here under branding, under application settings. So if I go to branding, this is where I can upload my logo, but it has to be 300 by 70 pixels in GIF format only. And lastly, how do I keep track of referrals? Well, I'm referring clients to attorneys. I want to charge them for a referral fee or right, or I want to just track have that client, gotten help. So number one, what's the reason or well the location? Where am I referring them to? I don't do family law, so I'm referring them to this firm. What's the reason why I'm referring them? Maybe domestic violence or like any other reasons you can add them here so that you can track how many referrals, where, and why, and what the status of the referral is. Have they been accepted? approved, referred, cancel, like you have different statuses. Okay, so you can customize them there. And each client, if you go to their, I believe it's at the case. Give me 1 second. Oh, it's under general info. So go to the case profile under general info. You should see referral. So I'm going to add the referral again for domestic violence, and she's been referred. I am sending her today, and this is the person who's referring her, and I'm just going to link the location. I think I have not a location linked. Anyway, so I would have to just add that to my locations here. Let me see. Someone has the question. Let's see. You mentioned adding our logo. Where do we do that again? Yes, let me show you one more time. So you go under the application settings at the bottom, and then on the right-hand side, click on branding. And the logo has to be 300 by 70 pixels GIF format only. Oh, that was before you answered. We keep losing you. Got it. Okay. All right. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so let's go over your questions. If you have any questions, let me know. You will have questions. It doesn't matter if you're new or existing client. The more you learn, the more you discover, like a rabbit hole. Just kidding. But you can call us Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 Pacific Standard Time, except on holidays. That's our phone number. Email us too, 24/7. Or you can also click on your home screen on the top right corner where it says technical support, which is where you can also send your feedback to our developers. We have an extensive user's guide with tons of resources. We do these trainings for free. They're live Fridays at 10 a.m. We also have a podcast called Cerenade Snacks. If you haven't joined the Facebook forum page, I have the link right here. Please download my PowerPoint presentation so that you can click and register. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's called Cerenade Academy. And these are the did you know links. Some of you are new, so I try to always share so that you take advantage and explore the system. Maybe you're not using the calendar. Maybe you didn't know we have e-filing or that we can import data from the CBP website. So again, these are some of the did you know. And these are the upcoming trainings for November and December. We don't have a webinar on the 29th. So happy Thanksgiving in advance. And yeah, we want to connect with you. So please make sure that if you have questions or concerns that you contact our team. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It's called Cerenade Academy. We're almost there, so help us reach 2,000 subscribers before the end of the year. This is where you guys can see when we have new features, when we have new videos, we upload them here. So please make sure you subscribe. And that's about it. So let me know if your questions were addressed during the webinar. Please vote before you go. All right, let's see. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I can stay for a couple more minutes if you guys have questions. If not, awesome. Thank you for voting. If not, like I said, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate your time and that we hope that you enjoy using the system. Please take advantage of the customizations. I think the more you customize the system, the better. Trust me, as things progress, things are going to be stricter and maybe hectic. So you want to organize yourself and your staff. All right. Well, everyone, have an amazing weekend. Oh, de nada. Buen día. Que la vaya muy bien. Have an amazing weekend. And thank you, everyone, for using eIMMIGRATION on behalf of Cerenade. Bye-bye. You're welcome. Thank you.